is a literal drug hearing that song. I love it so much. This is time.
Wagner in the morning.
A little Wagner in the morning. It is time for everyone except Michelle's favorite game, No Fence Riding. The concept is simple. I have a series of statements for our esteemed panel today to decide, and Kelly joining me. They just have to decide whether they agree with the statement or not. So let's kick things off here with VO40. Kelly, this is a simple statement. The Dodgers are not ruining baseball.
I litigated this the other day. I do not think they're ruining baseball. I think that they are bringing fans to baseball. And hopefully those fans stick around.
All right. Saad, where do you stand?
Yeah, I don't think they're ruining baseball just because under the current construct, they're showing what everybody should be doing. Now, it'd be different if they were, breaking the rules, cheating, that kind of stuff. That's where I kind of take exception to that statement where a team can't ruin it if they're just playing by the rules. They're playing by the rules.
Okay, I understand that part, but the money deferral for Ohtani is an insane sideswipe. It just is.
But is that something only they were able to do and nobody else was?
Absolutely not. I agree with that. I agree that within the constructs as presently constituted, yes, they are the alpha predator, I suppose is the right way to put it. They have a great farm system. They have great assets. They have obviously money out the wazoo with their own current RSN model. So like they are the optimized version of what every team should be. The problem is if they're the only one doing it, then something is broken within the system. Well, it's baseball that's ruining baseball.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. And I totally agree with that. And that's why we're in for a very, very interesting next 12 months in baseball, because that statement I absolutely agree with. Baseball is ruining baseball just because of how the CBA, no salary cap, and how all the other teams are kind of, going about this. There's no way that the Dodgers should be the team that gets the prized possession at the trade deadline. That should never happen. The fact that it did, yeah, the Dodgers, they're not at fault, but baseball is.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. This is VO41. It's time. We need guardrails between gambling apps and sports leagues. For those wondering why Bryce Harper is on your screen, there's a little bit of a snafu with FanDuel and a video he recorded that kind of instigated someone losing more money in the gambling app. He didn't know what this purpose was for. The point being is we've been talking about gambling through the Sorsby issue, obviously throughout this entire summer, but as much as it is a boon financially for teams to latch on to gambling, you just cannot keep blurring this line and expect things to continue in a proper way.
Yeah, I think you're kind of in a very delicate position right now in all of sports where once the toothpaste is out, it's going to be really hard to put it back in. And some would argue that it already is out, but I think the more it gets out, it's going to be even tougher. I totally agree. We do need these guardrails, and I don't know if even that will be good enough at this point.
Mike Leslie is in Ireland right now and is currently swimming back to talk about this issue because I know he has some strong feelings about it. But I mean, I agree with you guys. It's out of control. It's really, really bad.
It's getting crazy, and it's not that. Again, this is a different dialogue between knowing gambling for normal people. If people want to try and discuss it on a legislative basis on that front, fine. The difference is when it touches the rail. When you start affecting how people view games, you mess with the business model. No one has faith in it. We saw it for a bit with the NBA in 2002. That's just the reality of it. You cannot merge the two entities and feel like you're going to come out clean. I am poorly timing this.
You are poorly timing this.
There's about 5 seconds before we get our ear blown out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. All right, last one just for the sake of it. We'll try and get this one quick. Was there a 42 or do we have time?
I have it. I got to do this.
NFL influence is getting ridiculous, legitimately. I don't know if you saw viewership for the Hall of Fame game. 7 million people tuned in. And granted, there's all kinds of caveats around the calendar and what else is being viewed at that point. But 7 million hits for the Hall of Fame game was more than any Stanley Cup final game, any hockey game period, and any baseball game this year. That is obviously not including the World Series just because that was the last calendar year. But for a preseason game, for Haynes King, dude, what are we doing?
I'm sorry. I was one of them. I watched all 4 quarters, and I loved it. It's just, I think the Hall of Fame game is just, it's the long wait of football is finally over, and the preseason is not routinely, in my opinion, I don't think the preseason will routinely outrate Stanley Cup and baseball games. It shouldn't, but the Hall of Fame game is a little unique just because you're kind of just getting your juices flowing a little bit again and enjoying it. I'm just shocked that number came out for a Cardinals-Panthers game.
Cardinals-Panthers.
Hall of Fame game.
And granted, it was a good game. That was part of it.
Is it because people were just like so hyped to have things to gather
I think
around
that's
for
part
the
of
World
it.
Cup, and this
Yes.
is just, and then there's now a lull. I saw something the other day, like, what do you mean I have nothing to watch at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday?
No, seriously, I do think that's part of it. I think the World Cup conditioned us to have something on in the background every day for 2 months straight during a period where we normally wouldn't have anything.
Yeah, and I've covered 3 leagues on the beat. I've covered the NBA, the NHL, and NFL, and I can tell you this. There is no question that the NFL is just knocking it out all the time on their marketing. The way they market the Hall of Fame throughout the week, the way that this game is not just a game, it's seen as the first leg of what the induction ceremony is on Saturdays. They just do such a fantastic job with all that.